What screams, "I'm very insecure"? Automatically assuming negative intent. E.g., "You friend didn't pick your call, her. She's trying to avoid me. I don't care about her anyway." I mostly see this at work. Dash. People who are in upper management and treat people like garbage just because they can. Dash. Being unnecessarily mean, rude or bitter to people. Dash. Treating new employees like garbage just because you're threatened they might take your job someday. This is a self-roast, but I think I degrade myself just to hear others deny it. Is that insecure? Lifestyle creep. Constant fishing for compliments when around people, e.g., "I'm so chunky," as a direct way to get someone to tell you that you look great. When people have and insist on constantly checking on their so via some tracking app on their phone. It's one thing to have it and use it in case of emergency. But using it while out with your friends to make sure he's actually at work is creepy and super insecure. I used to be very insecure, so I'll go from my own experience. Lying about something to seem cool. It's very obviously a signal of insecurity because they don't like who they are now. Clicking on this post to see if any of the top comments are things you do. When you question yourself, do they actually like me or are they pretending to, or when you think you're gonna bother other people if you talk to them. Edit. Jesus Christ. I wasn't expecting so many replies. I hope you all are doing great. Just not shutting up about yourself. Constantly lifting yourself up and comparing yourself to others, while pushing them down. People who always have to one-up you in everything. If you tell a story, they have a better one. If you buy something expensive, they have to be something even more expensive. Some people's whole life is trying to win some non-existent competition. All those people who post on Facebook those quotes that are like, "Don't worry about those who talk behind your back. They're behind you for a reason," or they tag themselves into any and every place including the docks, hospital, somewhere personal. Then when someone asks if they're okay, they reply with, "Don't ask hun zoxox uk." So basically, people who live their lives through very active social medias, I suppose I'm trying to say. Bragging about things not even in your control. Like your parents' wealth. Women that guard their men like a solitaire. I was leaving an abusive relationship. My friend offered me a place to stay. The hitch was if she wasn't there and just her husband was, I had to leave. I got a hotel room. Not dealing with that. People whose self-esteem is so low that they can't stand the sight of people with high self-esteem. So they will try to break down anyone they perceive as more successful than them. When a group of this type of people comes together, a major crab bucket mentality arises and they will target people perceived as highly competent or successful for bullying, gossip, false rumors, and other things that should have been wiped out after elementary school. People who feel the need to judge everyone in a negative light and who only want to see the worst in others so they can feel better about themselves. It just shows how unhappy they truly are. Oftentimes, people don't know the difference between telling it like it is and just being flat-out mean. People who tell it like it is only give their opinion when it is warranted because they would want someone to tell them the truth instead of dancing around it. However, some can cross this line and just be straight-up rude. While using this same reasoning, those who tell it like it is are secure. Those who are unnecessarily mean are insecure. Not exactly a direct answer to your question, but I've always thought this and wanted to share. Edit. Thank you for silver smiley face. Bullying people. You don't try to bring other people down if you truly feel good about yourself. I bought a mattress the other day and the salesman had a chin strap and blue flames tattooed up his arms. When I finished checking out, he came up behind my mom and I and said, very seriously, "Just so you know, people call me Firearms." Later that same day, my dad and I were in the parking lot at Lowe's and a guy with spiked hair pulled into the parking lot in a convertible blasting Crazy by Buckcherry. I like to think he and Firearms were separated at birth. Edit. I am from the Jersey Shore. While I think that should clarify some things, this is douchey behavior even for here. Scene. Gets a notification on phone, XGF. Who's chatting to you now? Me. It's a game notification. Me. Goes to shower. Me. Comes back to find GF going through every message, email and WhatsApp. Does that scream I'm insecure? Edit 1. Thanks for the responses. I got out of that relationship last year and I'm dating someone of a far better mind and someone who trusts me. Edit 2, I coded my phone, she figured it out, then I used my fingerprint. Edit 3, my ex was very insecure and would often follow and check my every move. Edit 4, I will respond as best I can. Using your internal fear as a reason not to do something. Hate your job? You don't apply for any others because you're scared of being rejected. Or that you don't deserve a better job. In a terrible relationship? You stay because you're scared of being alone. That kind of insecurity is the worst emo because it affects nearly everyone. I only get along with guys. Other girls hate me. Face with tears of joy, zany face. I came here to find out what I need to stop doing. Edit. Holy. My first silver. And my first gold. Being overly nice and being a yes man to make other people happy. Also having no opinions. Anything Eleanor does in the good place. So well done. Grabbing your girl tighter as you walk into public places. Followed by awful looks to anyone who makes eye contact. Not being able to walk anywhere alone. I am not talking about walking alone at night, but if you are not able to walk to the bathroom or another class alone. You have a problem. Insecurity can manifest itself in many ways, including but not limited to being shy, not introverted, consistently wearing clothes that conceal the body, like wearing the same jumper to school every day year-round, wearing a hairstyle that conceals the face, eyes looking down, away from people, not participating in social media and/or group conversations because of fear of rejection, always being exceptionally nice or being exceptionally cunty. Particularly around things they are sensitive about. Like if they feel inferior about their grades, they will slag off other poor performers, or they may try to drag others down with them by general bullying. Depending on what their personality is like. Not all insecure people are bullies. We are all insecure about something at some time in our lives. NBD. Really. Being unable to sit in silence with others without talking. Even if there's nothing to talk about, making small gestures and then constantly seeking validation and reassurance that you are appreciated. Even if there's no reason to think you aren't appreciated, constantly asking if someone is mad at you. Even when they have told you several times that they are not mad at you, trying overly hard to be funny, likable, smart around people who already know you well just to seek attention and validation. Excessive selfies. The more staged, constructed they are, the worse off the person is. I even know people who don't think they look right without a filter. They don't get sad and FD up, that is. Unfortunately. Speaking from experience. Not even applying for certain jobs because the voice in the back of my mind keeps saying, you'll never be good at it. There's tons of people better than you. People who constantly tell stories to make themselves seem real tough or badass. Yeah. Dad. That's really awesome that you kicked some guys when you were in the Marines 40 years ago. No joke. Most people have a habit of listing their insecurities in the first few lines they will talk to you. If someone feels the need to describe themselves after they meet you, it's a very safe bet everything they list as an insecurity. Well, I'm a really nice person. I am really smart, etc. They argue against your grammar, semantics, or micro details, rather than the point you were obviously trying to make. You showed up to work an hour late. No, I didn't. I was an hour and 4 minutes late. Don't you know the difference between 8 o'clock and 9:04? Oh, you sure put me in my place. Josh. I used to do this and now notice it in others. I'll get complimented and instantly find a way to criticize myself. Say I cooked. And it was good. Oh, but it's too salty or overdone. I could do it better, or I could take the compliment and walk away. In a group setting, I've also learned to pass the compliment along. Oh, it was this person's idea, we make this, or something like that. The project is finished and everything went well. Instead of saying, oh, it was no big deal, I say everything was organized and where it needed to be when I started. I'm passing the compliment to whoever organized without sounding insecure about my abilities. When you tell someone something positive or nice that happened to you. For example, that you purchased a new TV and that you start to notice that the other person always tries to poke holes in your cloud of happiness by saying you instead should have waited. The TV is too big. It consumes too much power. That brand is, and so on. But they do this with everything you share with them that is somewhat positive to your life. Socially aware individuals understand that the other people have a life to run and might need a day or 7 for them only. Insecure people are going to have a fit, and from the first lapse of communication. They expect that they have been abandoned for some really abstract reason. Regardless if it has any merit or not.